Hello, welcome to El Lobo y la Reina podcast. We want to first and foremost say thank y'all for joining us. I'd love to introduce my lovely co-host, Veronica from Veronica's Addiction.
Hello, guys. How are y'all today? What's up?
Shh, you really want to know what's up?
You really want to know what's
Y'all
up?
really don't want to know what's up?
Do y'all want to know?
This is take two.
Yes. So, if you watch my Facebook lives, then you know that
You know.
our podcast that we did last night got replaced with a blooper.
Yeah, I messed up. But it's all right. We learned from it. I learned from it, and it gave us time to actually set up some of this software for our mics and headphones. Um, we were able to critique ourselves off of that podcast,
For sure.
and this one's going to be better because of it.
It's a learning experience.
Yeah, yeah, definitely,
For
definitely.
sure.
So, once again, thank you for joining us. This is our second podcast, and if y'all didn't notice, we're throwing our title out there. That's what's going to be the name of our podcast, El Lobo y la Reina. So, of course, El Lobo, right here,
Y la
and
reina.
Mi Reina.
I wanted to name it El Lobo y mi Reina, but Babe said El Lobo y la Reina.
Yeah, I think it has
Has a
like
twang.
you're La Reina.
Yeah,
To
I
me,
get
she's
what he
Michael.
means.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
anyways, so that's what the name of the podcast is.
For sure. I think it fits us
Yes.
both very well.
Definitely. Um, well, I guess we'll get started. We want people who are new to Veronica's Addiction, new to El Lobo y la Reina podcast, to we're gonna have to learn them about ourselves, sweetheart. So I'd like to ask you, how long have you been doing this social media platform?
I've been doing this for about almost 3 years. Almost 3 years. This Veronica's Addiction 2.0 on Facebook, 2 years. But my first page that I had was for 1 year. So I've been doing it for about almost 3 years.
So what exactly were you doing? What were you doing? Like lives or just posting stuff or?
No, actually, the first time I went live was on my personal page and I did cooking.
Okay.
I didn't start with makeup, as most of you know, but I know we have a lot of new followers here, a lot of new support. So,
Definitely, thank you for that.
yeah, a lot of new support. But I actually started cooking on my personal page. I did like one or two lives, I think. And then I made a creator page and it started with cooking. I love to cook. Started it. I was going through some mental shit. I had lost my mom. We had lost my mom. So it was more for my mental health, just to make me get up, make me do something. And then I started my creator page and it went from there. Like, it's crazy.
So you do makeup, cooking tutorials, you sell jewelry. What's your favorite? Where do you feel you get the most interaction with your followers, subscribers, and friends?
I feel like my supporters are like 100% there. They're my ride or dies. No matter what I'm doing, they're watching.
Of course, but what's your
My
favorite
I
one
love
you
to
like to do?
cook. I love to
To
cook
cook.
for my family, but I also love to do makeup. I mean, I love to play dress up. I love to do makeup. I like all of that. So I don't know if I really have a favorite.
You just across the board you enjoy.
That's
You pretty
what
much film and show everything you're enjoying.
it's my addictions.
Ah, there you go. A little wordplay right there. Okay. Cool.
It's my addictions. So yeah.
So, where do you see Veronica's Addiction going? Like, where do you want to take this to?
I want to take it to the moon, baby.
Pa la luna.
No, honestly, I just want to build an empire. I want to build an empire. We just hit 100K on Facebook.
Congratulations.
Thank
That was
you.
what, 2 weeks ago?
Yes,
Yeah.
and we caught it live. I was shopping for Valentine's, and we were at the Dollar Tree, and just with my babies, my girls. My two girls work for me, my older girls. My son works part time. Did I think it was gonna get where it's at? No, definitely not. Definitely not. I started to do it for fun. Never thought that it was gonna be an actual job. I don't see it as a job, really. It's fun. I enjoy it. I built a family. I have my online family.
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely have a good fan base that really enjoys, loves you, and likes to participate in all of your different type of tutorials and stuff.
For sure.
Well, good.
I feel like it's learning for all of us. You know, they watch me cook. They critique me. Constructive criticism, like, oh, Vero, try this, try that. Can you do this makeup look? Can you cook this for me your way?
That's pretty cool. That way you kind of see what, are you listening to what kind of things they're interested in seeing as well?
Oh, most definitely.
Okay.
Yes, most definitely. I love their interaction. That's my favorite part.
I think that's what kind of sets you apart. I don't watch very many other lives, but what I've been told, a lot of people in your situation, they don't read the comments, or how does that usually work? I know that sets you apart.
I feel like there's very few of us, and especially like in my friend group, my kids, I feel like we definitely want the interaction and we definitely read comments. But I have watched a lot of people, and I've watched them for years.
Content creators.
And I'll say like, oh, you look beautiful, and they don't acknowledge the comment, or they'll just read like 1 out of 100. You know, I don't know. I'm not like counting.
Which that's their business.
And that's fine. Everybody does their thing their way.
Yes.
But that is something that's always been really important to me. So important that I hired my daughters to read comments for me when I'm live. So whether it's Babe, Jacob, Chevy, Celeste, Jezebel, even
it does
my son-in-laws, whoever.
Yeah. So that's pretty neat. I think that's a really interesting an interaction that you're having with your followers.
Oh yeah, I love it. I like to know how their day's going. I like to know how, you know, if they're struggling, like I want to pray for them. I don't want them to feel like they're just coming to watch me and I don't give a shit about them. It's not like that at all for me.
Well, I can tell you with utmost certainty that you do reach your fan base. They do like you. They do adore you. Case in point, today me and the girls went to Whataburger to pick up some lunch. Me, Chevy, and Jelly. And as soon as we pulled into the drive-thru, this young girl, I don't know, 18, 20, I guess recognized the girls or the vehicle. I don't know if you go to Whataburger a lot, but she was like, Veronica's Addiction. And I'm like, Chevy goes, oh, I know her. She's always looking and asking for mom. She recognized the girls, and she's like, Jelly, hi, Jelly. Oh, my God, tell Veronica I said hello. Like, it was very neat. She's very respectful, and just, you could tell she was disappointed you weren't in the vehicle. But it's awesome to see, and that's not just one event. This happens everywhere. We'll be in the mall. We'll be in Dallas, San Antonio, Vegas, the casino, and
Windstar.
Yeah, and just people like you. So you're doing good.
My online family.
It's neat to see.
Person. And when I meet them in person, I don't want it just to be like a, hey, what's up? I don't want to act like I would stick up my ass.
Be over there like.
I want to be the same person that they see online. I want to be that person for them in person too. Because I've been to places, I've been to events, and they treat you so differently. And it sucks because when you support somebody and they support you, like everything that you do, like whether it's buying my jewelry, buying makeup for the companies that I work for, watching me cook at 2:00 in the morning, you know, stuff like that. I feel like they earned for me to sit there and hug them and take pictures and be excited.
Be human.
You know, I feel like the first time I met somebody, it was kind of different. Like, I didn't want to come off as like a shitty person, but I was just like, I didn't think nobody would recognize me in person. Remember that?
It's been so long ago, sweetheart. I don't.
Yeah.
But
So,
she's like, I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. I'm like, well, you're famous. People know you. You're not no superstar. And that's not what we're trying to say here. What we're trying to reach out is that we're relatable to everybody. We're nobody special. We're the same as everybody else. And I think that's what trips people out is they see you at Whataburger. They see you at Walmart in your sweats. Sometimes no
yeah.
makeup. Like we are talking about that the other day, remember?
I don't see myself as being famous at all. I'm
You
just a
you're
normal
just
person.
normal person that 100,000 people know.
Yes. And
There
to
you go.
me, like, when they see me, they get so excited. They cry. It makes me so emotional, so blessed that they would take time out of their day to watch what I'm doing.
Well, they share life experiences with you real quick, even though it's a 1 minute or 5 minute interaction. They're real quick sharing. Oh my God, my niece's birthday's today. Can you please send a message or whatever
Oh,
it is? Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
And I definitely have my ride or dies to where if they're not on one of my lives, like I notice,
yeah.
I'm like, I haven't seen so and so like
For
in
sure.
a week. So let me shoot them a message to make sure that they're okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Because now I worry about them like they worry about me.
Definitely.
It's cool. It's really cool. I've met some amazing people. I've met some really, really cool people. And I'm super blessed for that.
Well, we both are. We both are. It's an interesting lifestyle that we're living. Um,
Most definitely.
yeah.
Most definitely. It's fun. It's entertaining. It's fun. It gets me out of my comfort zone, I feel.
Mm-hmm.
Opening up your house to strangers that become family, it's crazy. You know, I guess the only part that is hard for me, and I don't mind constructive criticism, but everybody has an opinion on the way you do things, and that's I think the hard part for me, cause they'll tell me like, oh Vero, your nails are too long. You shouldn't wear your nails like that.
And
You
she'll
shouldn't
be
do
like,
this,
ah.
or you shouldn't do that. And I'm like, girl, like this is my page. I do what I want, and it's easy. If you don't like it, then scroll along, baby girl. Scroll along. If you don't have nothing nice to say, then don't say it. Simple.
And on this platform, we're going to be looking at different opinions, different sides of the stories. We're going to talk about current affairs. Just like right now, all this airplane stuff is going
Yes.
crazy.
For sure. Yeah, that's insane.
It's amazing how overnight they can just shut down airlines. You especially during the holidays.
Yeah, it's scary. Very scary.
You've already how many people planned out vacations and put all this money aside and everything else to go see their loved ones, and all of a sudden they're grounded in Orlando or wherever it may be.
Yes, one of my followers, she works for one of the airlines, and she told me, I was doing makeup and I was live, and she was like, oh my gosh, I'm so stressed out. And I'm like, why? She's like, work, girl. I got yelled at so much today.
That's
and
horrible.
I was like, why? And I was like, where do you work at, girl? They're yelling at you. And she's like, at the airline, she's like, all these flights got canceled, and it's my fault.
She's like,
I'm saying like again. I told Babe that's what I did wrong last night. I don't know why I talk like that. It's hard to get
it's
that out of my
so
mouth.
difficult. You'll get what out of your mouth?
To get the word like out of my mouth.
Oh. There's a lot of things.
A lot of things?
Yes.
Like what?
Said it again.
I think he
But-
set me up for that one.
I did. No, you set yourself up.
No, but we want this YouTube. We get asked so many questions all the time. We want to hear y'all's opinions. We want y'all to hear our opinions. Me and Babe are so different. We're different, like night and day.
Thank you for bringing that up. Thank you. So, what was one of the questions one of your viewers asked?
The main question that a lot of people ask me
when I put it out there, huh?
The last podcast, Babe said, Vero's church and I'm science. And they said, what does Babe mean by that? What does he mean? And I was like, you know what? I'll have him explain that to y'all when we're on doing a podcast.
Everybody takes that definition to heart differently. You know, I'm not saying I don't believe in religion or anything. Of course, I do personally. And that's as far as I'll take that. But the science aspect of it is I'm more of a person who looks at the numbers, the charts, the proof, the longevity of an outfit. If a person is respectful enough, like what's their track record? Do they muddy up the water everywhere they go? And I think Beto's more of a forgiving, type. Not so much weak or anything like that, but you're more prone to see the good. And I'm like, I need to verify it. That's how I'll go about that.
He tells me that a lot, that I'm very nurturing, I feel.
Yes, 100%.
Like, not that he doesn't care about people, but Babe, if you cross him, he'll forgive you and
move on.
He'll move on. He'll love you from afar.
Yeah.
Love you from afar. And me, I don't know why I feel like I can fix them, fix the person.
Because you're a fixer.
Let me help them. They're going through something. That's why this happened. I always have a reason to keep building a relationship with them. And it's bit me in the ass more than I'd like to admit. But I've learned from it.
I was going to say, that's probably why the only reason you're still with me, because you just keep trying to fix me.
Really, babe? No. Que guanta de mujer. Que guanta de mujer.
Get her started on her corridas.
So, for those of you that don't know, we have 5 kids that are new to us. This is your first time meeting us. We just hit 24 years married.
Hello. We just hit.
We just hit
that
bam,
shit.
Hit hard. No.
What's it take? That's another thing. I'm sorry I cut you off. What were you saying?
No, I was just saying we've been together for 27 years. He was 16. I was 18 when we got married. And we have 5 beautiful children, 2 very handsome son-in-laws, and
2 dogs.
2 dogs, a fish, and a cat. We got a motherfucking zoo. We got a zoo up in this house. But I wouldn't have it any other way.
It's fun. There's always something going on with us. We're always running and gunning.
We live a very fast-paced life. Very fast-paced life. And I like it. I like it like that.
So one thing I'd like to address is probably the second most asked question that I see pop up on your lives is asking you, how in the hell did we make it for 24, 27 years? Whatever number you say, you keep going back and forth.
It's a lot of hard work and dedication. Relationships are hard. Marriage is hard. Everybody thinks because when you watch us live that our relationship is perfect. It's not.
It's far from.
Bicker. And that's what we want y'all to see. Like,
we don't agree.
We don't agree on a lot of things. But when you love somebody and you're in a relationship with somebody, it's okay to agree to disagree. We don't have to have the same opinions. That's all okay. That's fine.
Work on
communication.
Figuring out how to meet in the middle.
For sure. And
some give, some take.
And I definitely feel like men and their feelings get overlooked a lot. I do.
Oh, yeah.
I've been really working on that. Me and Babe, like 6 or 7 years ago, we separated for a whole entire year. And we hit this on the podcast that got deleted last night too. But I feel like it's very important to talk about because, we separated for a year. Babe lived outside in a camper in my yard.
In a cardboard box.
In my yard. And
I was her groundskeeper.
really, no, but the kids didn't want him to move out. We needed space. We definitely did. And it was like pulling teeth talking to Babe. Babe would not communicate. Babe is the type. He's machismo. 100%. He was. Like, he'd rather hold all his feelings in for 6 months and then blow up.
I was being a man.
I mean, I'm not talking about like physically abusing or nothing like that, but he would just like let all his feelings out. Well, you did this and you did this and you did this and you didn't even give a shit. And I'm just like, I didn't even know. Like, how am I supposed to know? So communication is very important. Yes. And until I admitted to him, like, when we separated, I think he blamed himself a lot. Like,
of course,
this is my fault. Like, I did this wrong and you just couldn't put up with it. And I'm like, no. Like, I 100% understand why you fell out of love with me. I know what I did. I know I pushed you away. But we did go through something very tragic. You know, my mom was a big part of our lives.
Yes.
I think we were both hurting. And it's fucked up because I was going through so much hurt and heartache that I told him, like, you were so close to my mom and I didn't even ask you how you were feeling. How does it feel not to have her in your life? He was constantly checking on me, and I never did the same to him because I was so fucking caught up in my own feelings, and that sucks. You know, that's fucked up on my part, and I was able to admit that. And when I did admit it, I feel like it opened him up to a whole different level.
Oh yeah, it's obviously those of you who are watching this as lost loved ones. Those of you who haven't, you know, I'm sorry, it's a horrible pain, but you can't let things like that. Eventually, you gotta move on. Eventually, you gotta look back inside to the house and make sure everything's still okay.
And it was hard. That Babe, I feel like Babe lost Vettel for a long time.
Oh, of course.
He lost Vettel for a long time. And that's why I started the Facebook, because I needed to make myself get up and start doing. Like, I would still do things. I was going through the motions. I was still being a wife. I was still being a mother, a sister, a daughter, a cousin, a tia, but just the motions with no feelings. No feelings.
Yeah, we're just living life just like y'all do, just like everybody else. You know, we're not perfect. We fall down, we stumble. But that's one thing that if we can bring across to any of the viewers who do watch and ask how do we do it? We're so perfect and this and that. It's not, I promise you. We stumble and we get dusty and we'll cuss each other and we'll laugh and cry and fuck.
Yeah.
Suck. Pinch. My favorite is smacking her in the butt when she's walking by. Whether she's mad or I'm mad, I'm still going to smack that ass.
It was hard. Like, when we were separated, it was so hard to be living in the same house and not talking, not touching, not nothing, except at night. It's like, get it in.
We should have went to counseling.
We should have.
We should have went to counseling, bro. We went about it so fucking wrong.
We went about it in a really fucked up way, but hey, it works. And now, like, Babe communicates a lot more. Like, now I'm going to hear his feelings. Now he's like, no, you're going to hear me. This is how I feel. This is how you made me feel. And sometimes as a woman, that's hard for me just to, like,
swallow.
Like, when he tells me that I made him feel a certain way, I'm like, those were never my intentions.
I could never.
I wouldn't. Oh my because God. I would never do that on purpose. I would never want to make you feel shitty sweetheart, on purpose. You know what I mean?
You have no ill will towards me. I can't see you doing anything purposely devious towards me and thinking, oh, I'm gonna break this motherfucker's left nut here in a minute. No,
I wanted to before.
I seen the look in your eyes. I bet.
I mean, we've been together for a long time. We grew up together.
Oh. That's another story. Growing up together, I was a kid. I was 14 and you were 16.
I was 16.
Yeah,
but he lied. Told me he was older. We covered that on the last podcast.
We've come a long way. We growed up. We learned how to grow up together.
Yes. I feel like we were growing up as two separate people, and then we were like, no.
It's going the wrong way.
Together, we have to grow together, not apart. You know, and it took a lot of learning lessons.
I like the way you said that. That is true, because I know, like, in my 20s, I was just out partying and drinking, having fun.
And I was at home.
And she was at home raising 2 kids.
Yeah, raising 2 kids.
That she got pregnant with.
Oh, I got pregnant. No, but, you know, like, Veronica's Addiction, I just want to build an empire. I want to have something for my babies. I want them to be proud. I've always been a stay-at-home mom and a wife, and dedicated my life to raising kids. But, you know, it's hard when you go through a separation and you can't get a job anywhere. And I went to school, I went to college, but I had no experience in anything.
Lapse in job time, that hurt?
Yes, it hurt me. It was hard. I had to get a job where a high schooler would get a job at. I couldn't get a job anywhere because I had no experience anywhere.
Even though you had the education.
I had the education, but no experience. And because I was always a stay-at-home mom, Babe's always been the main provider in the home. So, yes, it was really, really hard for me. But I didn't feel like that was Babe's responsibility when we were not together. Not that he took anything from me. He never did. He paid the bills at the house because the kids were here. But I did take on the role of paying my own stuff. You know, my lashes, my nails, you know, groceries, whatever I needed for my personal well-being. And I didn't count on him to pull that for me still. Even though he would tell me, like, it's okay. Like, it's fine. Like, I know you're not working. But, no, I went and got a job and I took care of myself because I couldn't put that on him anymore. I felt shitty. I felt shitty expecting that from him.
The main thing, whenever we went through all that scandala, we wanted to make sure that the kids were taken care of. And I think that's where things go wrong. You start doing things for the kids, for the wife, for the husband, instead of worrying about yourself. Well, I take that back. Not trying to sound like, oh, let me just be selfish. Not in that manner, but being happy, you know, when you look in the mirror. So that's whenever we're going through a scandalo, like, I was just worried about, well, just stay for the kids. That's going about it wrong. It ain't going to work because you're still never going to air out whatever the hell is wrong. And already across America, there's approximately over 18 million children who live without fathers in home. That's 1 in 4. That's 1 in 4 kids who don't have, you know, who live in a single parent household. And worse, the statistics, keep fucking that word up, on kids that don't have fathers in their home are more prone to go to prison, to be on welfare, to have a harder way in life. Whereas to where kids are raised with both husband and wife and or just fathers. If kids are raised in just fathered homes, their chances are way greater than mother-only children homes.
Oh, yeah, I definitely wanted Babe involved in the kids' lives, no matter what.
Oh, and I wasn't going anywhere.
No, he wasn't. Yeah. He wasn't. But I was never that mom that was like, oh, you're not going to see the kids.
Oh, no.
You're not. No.
No, it never got dirty.
How did it make you feel when I went and got a job? Because I had never worked.
I felt bad for you.
Did you?
Yeah. Fuck yeah, I felt bad for you. Because I'm supposed to be taking care of you.
But we weren't together. So why would I have to depend on you for that?
Because you always have.
That would be fucked up of me.
I know.
So I didn't. I didn't want him to feel like I was taking advantage of him. Because I would never do that. I wouldn't take advantage of you.
What do you call what you did to me in the parking lot in the back of that building? You took advantage of me?
Oh, what?
Hasta eso.
Whatever.
Am I throwing out false
for the flowers?
I'll take that form of payment, girl. Come on.
I was paying you for the flowers that you brought
paid
me.
all right. You was paying, girl. Anyways.
No, but you don't want your kids. If you're there for the kids, then they're gonna see that you're not happy and you're always fighting, and they're gonna think that's okay. That's not okay.
Yeah, then you're teaching them to put up with bullshit.
And I don't want that. And I know that I made up a lot of mistakes because, babe,
both of us,
we made a lot of mistakes, arguing in front of the kids and fighting in front of the kids. And maybe we shouldn't have done that. But we taught them that's real life. Marriages are hard. And if you really want something, you work harder to make it work.
Talk about it. Forgive.
But you both have to want that.
Yeah.
Can't be one-sided. Because if it's one-sided, it's fucked up and it ain't going to work. It's not. Or one of y'all's going to be unhappy.
And that's where it ended with us. We just finally come together and said, all right, let's give it one more shot. All the cards are on the table, this and that. And
I actually started college and I was working, and it was so funny because I remember like yesterday that I was studying for a test because I was like, dang, I need to go to school so I can get some kind of certification so I can have a real job. And because I don't know what's going to happen between us. And I remember he said, give me 6 months to make you fall in love with me again. And I was like, what? He's like, 6 months. Give me 6 months. And if I can't get you to fall in love with me again, then we'll go our separate ways and I won't bother you. You won't bother me. We'll just live our lives. And I was just like, okay.
Okie dokie.
So we did. And we went in 100%, both of us.
Yeah. No
and
bullshit.
It was hard.
It was.
It was hard at first. It was really hard.
Yeah, we was kind of side-eyeing it. Like,
it was really, really hard to bring that spark back, bring that, communication, feelings, all the things. It was really, really hard.
All that lovey-dovey shit.
It was really, really hard.
Lovey-dovey shit.
But it was worth it. I feel like we're more in love now than we've ever been. I feel like I'm in a very happy place. It's good to see my husband in a happy place.
Happy.
And we told each other, like, now, if we start feeling unhappy, like, I'm going to fucking tell you.
Yeah, that's 100%. That goes both ways. We're both in a place to where, hey, this ain't working. I'm not liking it. And we sit down, and sometimes it goes a little longer or further, but we figure it out.
Yeah, because we both want each other to be happy at the end of the day. So we'll tell each other, like, if something's bothering us, something gets under our skin, like, you're making me feel this way. Are we going to fix it? Or you don't
am I
want
going
to
to
fix
get
it
the
anymore?
silent treatment? Or do I give the silent treatment for another day or two?
Baby used to blow up. Not no more. Now he's like, we're going to talk. Or he'll leave, cool off.
Calm down. I go count to 10.
And then he'll come back and he's like, okay, let's talk. And of course, it's not always like that. Sometimes we yell, we scream, we cuss.
Hey, for real? How long ago was it that I went and got a room? 6 months ago? 9 months ago? However long ago. Last summer.
Yeah, it's been about 9-10 months ago.
And my truck is very recognizable.
Yes.
Like, my truck is known, bro.
Mm-hmm. And we got into an argument.
I don't even know. It was something silly. I don't even know.
It was over something dumb.
But I was like, I ain't putting up with this shit. I'm going to go to a hotel.
He was drunk. That's what it was.
That's what it was. Yeah.
He was drunk and came home acting dumb.
Yep.
And I'm not going to put up with that no more. I don't have to.
Nope.
I don't have to.
I went and got a hotel. Went and got a nap, shower, slept it off, act right. The point of the story is...
But you were driving to Windstar, you said, right?
No, I don't know where I was going to go. I don't remember.
You said you were driving over there and you're like, I'm driving without my best friend.
That's right. Yep, that's right.
He said he's going to go to Windstar without me. How dare him?
And then I went and got the hotel. And how many people called you that my truck was at the hotel? That's what I'm trying to get at with the story.
A lot. And me and Babe had gotten... I've never been the type... A lot of people didn't even know that we were separated because we've never been the type to, like, blast our shit.
No. This wasn't when we were separated. This is over here.
No. I'm talking about 9 months ago. So everybody was calling me like, oh, we saw the truck. we saw the truck at a hotel, Vero. And I'm like,
she's like, you couldn't park like in the back? I don't know. I parked right there in the front for everybody to see my damn truck on purpose.
and they were like, Babe's truck was there. What's going on?
In
I'm
the
like, "We're
middle
not
of the
into it."
day, his truck's at a hotel.
I was like, yeah, I know. I saw it on the card.
Man.
But, I mean, I didn't bother him.
No.
I mean, he came home, he apologized,
Mm-hmm.
and we talked about it, and we moved on.
There you go. See?
And sometimes that's what you need to do. Yeah.
It works.
Yeah,
It works for us.
it does.
It works for me. Until she tells me otherwise, we'll figure something else out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
But I thought it was just funny. Oh yeah, your dad. That's your dad saw my truck and he called
he
you.
never admitted.
He never admitted it.
He never, still, now that I think about it, still to this day, my dad called me
Okay, yeah.
that day, and he's like, what are you doing, mija? And I'm like, nothing.
Is
Israel?
okay?
And I didn't want to tell my dad that we were arguing because I didn't want him to be worried. So I was like, oh, he's over there. ¿Está en la casa? And I was like, no, he had to go run errands. Okay, mija. But I know my dad like the back of my hand. And I was thinking, I know. Because I asked him, where did you go today? What did you do? Oh, I went to Home Depot to go pick up some material.
Right next door.
And he was right next door to Home Depot. So I was like 99.9% sure that he saw his truck.
Homeboy never ratted me out.
But he didn't rat him out. He didn't tell me anything. He just said, "Está todo bien,
Good
mija?"
looking out, father-in-law.
And I said, yeah, Dad. Everything's fine. I was, ¿Estás segura? And I said, yeah, why? Why are you asking me that? No. You just sound different, mija. And I said, no.
Uh-huh.
And I never asked him, like,
I've
Dad.
been waiting. I've been waiting for it to come up, but it hasn't. So I figured I might.
And I'm like, well, did he see him? Did he not see him?
He didn't, babe.
But
Your
my dad
didn't
never
see.
calls me like with
Gets in
concern.
your business.
My dad don't get in my business. He didn't, but he was just like concerned, but didn't say anything. And I was just, but then he came over that night and we were eating dinner in the backyard, and he saw that everything was fine.
We
So
barbecued. I came home. We barbecued and cut up.
but he never said anything, and I still wondered. I wonder if he saw your truck. I'm gonna have to ask him.
Just
So
leave
I'm
it
gonna be like, oh, really? Yo soy tu hija.
Your mom, man,
My mom.
she's a saint.
spoiled
She was a saint.
him.
She'd spoil the hell out of me. She always cooked for me. Vero didn't want to cook. I'd go to my suegras.
Me and Babe would get into arguments.
When we were kids,
We
we
would
lived
fight
next door.
like fucking cats and dogs. We would fight all the time. And I would kick his ass out. We were young. When we first got married, we were probably married like a year or two.
Yeah, we're kids. We weren't even 20 yet.
We're kids raising kids. So I would kick his ass out, and he'd
I'd
go
go
to
next
my
door.
mom's, and I would go to my mom's to go talk to her. Like, Mom, go cry. Like, me and Babe are fighting. And this motherfucker is laying down. Don't wake up. Don't wake him up. Está cansado. He's tired. And she's in the kitchen cooking for him and shit. I'm like, Mom, what the fuck?
Hey,
Well, mija, he's my son. He needs to rest.
she'd make homemade hamburger steak. Woo, girl, that was the best. One day you learn. One day you need to cook it like that.
I've tried to cook it like hers, babe, but you said it's not the same.
It's not the same.
I use the same ingredients, but
You
it's
don't
not her
use the
hands.
love.
It's not her hands.
It's not her love.
It's different.
It's different.
For
It's
sure.
okay. Yours is good though.
But it will never be Mom's.
It's good enough. I enjoy it.
Good.
I appreciate you trying. Speaking of, I'd like some hamburger steak. Maybe tomorrow.
And every time Babe would come home from work, what would she say?
Daddy's home.
She would always sing
Daddy's home.
every time. So Babe's first day off of work, even when she was sick, she'd come over here and make him hamburger steak.
So, why would she be singing that song? Let's get into that.
Because the kids were in chingas.
The kids?
All of us.
But in chingas and what?
Babe's OCD.
Mmm.
So I always wanted everything to be perfect. So I was always in chingas, cleaning the house, making sure the house was like perfect for him. And that's why she would always sing me that. Because that freaking Tuesday before, I would be cleaning like everything.
So can I rephrase your sentence?
Yeah, go ahead.
I believe y'all would be in chinga cleaning the last day because y'all would let the house get a little out of order while I'm away. And that's why my sweet mother-in-law would come over. Daddy's home or coming home. And y'all be in chingas trying to make up for all that. Relax, less OCD guy around.
No, not 100%. I feel like when Babe's here, he's like the kids 100%. Like, Babe hates to see the kids like laying around. He doesn't like that.
I don't like messes.
He doesn't like messes. And he doesn't like the kids just to be not making their day productive. Correct. He likes them to have a productive day.
Yes.
Every day.
Thank you for saying it like that.
Every day.
Yes.
Every day. Don't waste it. And me, so when Babe goes to work, I let them lay down and take a nap and relax
Church,
and chill.
Science. You see?
And chill. It's not that the house was out of order. It's just that I let them chill more. So I'm like, okay, Dad's coming home. We need everything to be good for him when he gets here.
I like it. And it was. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Still is.
So she would always sing that. And Babe thought it was the funniest thing.
Home.
Babe thought it was the funniest thing.
It still is. It still is.
She had him very chiflao.
Oh, yeah.
My mom was Babe's mom. Like,
she was cool.
She was both of our moms. Definitely.
So, what do we have planned for this podcast for next week?
I'm not sure yet what subjects. We were telling you guys in the comments, like, just comment, like, things that y'all want us to talk about. We kind of want to just get y'all's opinions on things. Y'all always want our opinions. But usually when I'm doing, like, a makeup live, a cooking live, whatever what I'm doing, we're talking about that subject. So this is somewhere you can actually come, comment, ask us questions. Off the wall stuff. And we're actually going to get into detail. We're going to talk about it. You know, that's something that Babe asked me last night too. Like, what do you want? Why is it so important for Veronica's Addiction to grow the way you want it to? What's your goals? Right? For Veronica's Addiction?
What intentions do we have with this podcast?
I want Babe to have an option. I want him to have an option. If he wants to come home, he should be able to come home. Oh,
we're going that road.
He shouldn't have to be at work if he doesn't want to. He should be able to say, like, okay, Vero has this business going now. We can both work on it and grow. But if I do still have to work for now, because, of course, you know, we have kids, so we have to have a nest egg and all that stuff.
Yeah, we have responsibilities.
We love traveling and stuff. So I want him to have options. He's taken care of us his whole life. He deserves to have options. If he wants to come, not that he doesn't want to come home.
I love my job.
But Babe loves his job. And
I'm good at it.
He's very good at it. He's very good at his job. But I want to build an empire for my family. Veronica's Addiction is not just about me. It's my kids, my husband, my God, my family, everything.
And it's fun to see. It's especially this little thing, because this little niche here is obviously it's a joint venture with me and Vero, but it's fun because I get to do like the technical aspect, the software, the hardware, and it's neat.
Yep. It's neat. And another thing that we were talking about too is, like, when you're in a relationship, you got to remember to spend time together, date each other, keep dating, because your kids grow up, they move out, and then you're not going to have anything in common. You're going to be sitting there twiddling your thumbs like, okay, what do we have left now? We're not raising kids. And when we were going through shit, we caught ourselves only talking about the kids. Yeah. We would go to dinner and we were just talking about the kids.
Yeah, there's no self-interest in one another. You know, you just, well, what are the kids doing? Okay. Well, all right. Well, that's the only thing that you have mutual in common that you're currently interested in. Yeah, and that's it. So this would be another cool venture for us to kind of talk about during the week. Hey, what do you think about this? Let me bounce this off of you. So yeah, it's pretty fun. I'm
we
excited.
Balance each other out.
Yeah, It's fun. It's fun.
So, what do you think about Veronica's Addiction? Did you ever think it was going to be where it's at now?
No, not this way. I knew you were gonna stay with it. You could tell that it was something that you were very excited in. Excuse me. Grow this fast, this big? No. I knew you no matter what. If you had 2 people watching or 2,000, you're gonna do the same thing. You're gonna put your makeup on. You're gonna give it the best you got, and it's gonna be awesome. Your cooking live's the same. Your jewelry. So I'm not. I know for a fact it's not about the numbers thing with you. It's something you're doing something you love, and you generally enjoy it. You like showing people. You like doing the tutorials. You like giving the consejos. You like sharing your day. It's something that gives a twinkle to your eye, and it's neat. It's fun, and I'm excited to jump on and piggyback off of it, and we'll do this little venture where we can talk all about anything. All
So,
kinds
what do
of
you
crazy
think about like followers that give us attention in public for the first time, like new people that we meet?
Me being more standoffish and vigilant, especially taking care of Veronica, because that's my job first and foremost. I'm always cautious, but you can tell people don't have no ill will.
Oh no,
And
definitely not.
99.9 of the people who come up to you are awesomely ecstatic and happy to see you and be around you, and they just want to take a selfie and go on, tell you they love you and go on about their day.
And they want to take pictures with Babe too. It's cute. They love to take pictures with Babe. It's so cute. I love it. I get that question a lot. Like when you meet a follower in person, do you get mad if they talk to Babe, want to take pictures with him? And I'm like, no, I love it. I love it. I love that they love not just me, but my family. My family.
Oh, you could tell when that young woman over there at Whataburger, she said Jelly and Chevy's name like she's been talking to them her whole life.
Because they know us.
Yes, they do.
They know us.
It's fun. It's neat.
And it's so fun to put a face to the name. Excuse me. A face to the name. That's like really important to me. I always get so emotional when I meet somebody. Maybe not in front of them, but as soon as I walk off, I get super emotional. Like, this person lives wherever, and I'm such a important person in their life. You know what I mean? And they know me. They know when I'm happy. They know when I'm sad. They know when I'm going through shit. They know everything.
They can tell. Hey, let me ask you a question. One of the viewers earlier on the live asked a good question for us to bring up on the podcast, so I thought might as well throw it out there. She was talking about the educational system. Homeschool versus public school, private school. What are your thoughts? I know we kicked it around during the COVID thing with the girls.
Yes.
They were home taught, during the pandemic, but if you had a choice right now, would you pull them out of school? If so, for what reason? Or leave them in school? Like, how do you feel about it the way things are going right now, especially with all the drama?
It's so hard, honestly. I would love to homeschool my kids, but I'm not a teacher. I feel like I could teach them how to cook, how to clean,
that stuff's important.
Everyday things, but like educational wise, I feel like I would be ripping them off. I know that I could learn along the way.
Yeah.
I do, because I've done it. When we had COVID, girl, I learned so much stuff that I never thought I would have to.
And what about like a private school where they'll get more attention? Like for Jelly, I think that would be an awesome thing to look at for junior high. If there's a place that's up to your expectations.
I just feel like there's pros and cons. I feel like with them being homeschooled, there's great pros because you're not only teaching them about,
educational stuff.
The education, you're teaching about the home, you're teaching about all that stuff.
Socializing.
But I also feel like they need to go to school so they can have a life and be their own person. Meet people.
Church. Science.
Yeah. Meet people. I want my kids to love and to care and to have friends and get to go do fun things. And if they're at home, how are they going to meet people? I feel like with Chevy, she was older when all that happened, so it was really hard for her. I saw the downfall. She didn't get to hang out with friends. She was at that teenage years, where she should be able to have fun and play. Chevy loves sports. She loves sports. Yeah. So I feel like, I know if I homeschooled them, I could still do sports outside of that. But I feel like it's very important for them to get away and go outside without mommy and daddy. Because that's how they're going to learn.
Brings upon their own personalities.
Yeah, for sure. I want them to be their own person. And not that they can't at home, because they can, but it's going to be way harder.
Well, kids mirror their environment.
Yes.
That's proven science. Like, there's no doubt about
sure.
that. So there's states, and I'll look up here in a little bit, or y'all definitely can look it up. Instead of sending your kids to public school, they give you an option. They'll send you a check of whatever, say it's $1,500 a month that the school system spends on you. They'll cut you that check so you could either choose to homeschool or send them to a private school with those same funds. Do you think parents should have that kind of control over their educational system for their kids?
I do.
I think that's a fantastic idea.
I do. I think that's a fantastic idea. And I think every household is different. We live a very busy lifestyle. Very busy.
Oh, yeah.
We live a very busy lifestyle, especially with me working too. I work from home, but I'm always working at home. And that was hard for all of us. My kids hate me to work. They like it now, but when I first started working, they hated it. They were like taking petitions like
on trying to get her to quit her job.
On me working because they're so used to my life revolving around them.
Oh, yeah.
Which that's the way I wanted it. I could never thank Babe enough. I thank him all the time for that. Like, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to raise my kids from babies till grown-ups. The only ones is Jelly and Chevy that I have a job with them.
I think you timed their births.
You think I timed their births?
I do.
How do I have control? How do I have control over that?
It was weird. Like, the timing was impeccable.
Babe, that's all God. I have no control over that.
As soon as the kids were out of the house, already in school, guess what? She got pregnant.
But the doctors told us that I couldn't have kids.
And then 5 years later, we already got 3, right? Like, we had 2. We had a boy and a girl. Cool. We good. And then she calls me one day. I fell. I broke my arm. Or whatever. Lied to me. She was riding a fucking four-wheeler out there in the street somewhere.
We were drunk. Me, his cousins, Clara and Rosemary.
I think you fell out of, I don't know. You fell out of a truck or a four-wheeler? I don't know what the hell.
So I called Babe because me, Clara, and Rosemary, we were drinking here at the house. Babe was at work. And we decided to put the four-wheeler out where they were doing some construction.
The streets were closed. Literally, it was just dirt and caliche.
And there was hills. So we fucking got
there was not hills.
Like little dirt piles or whatever the fuck you want to call it. Little dirt piles. And we fucking, woo. And then we flipped that motherfucker. We flipped the four-wheeler. So Clara and Rosemary were like, Better we can't tell Babe that we fucked up the four-wheeler. So we dragged that motherfucker home because we couldn't get it to turn on. Put it back in the barn. And then I called Babe and I was like, I was throwing the Christmas tree out because we used to have a real tree. And I fell off the back of the truck. And he's like, what the fuck were you doing? And I was like, I was putting the tree behind the truck.
Mind you, I'm 5 hours away at work.
And I fell off the back of the truck and I landed on my arm. But I didn't know I was pregnant. Mm-hmm. So me and Clara went to the emergency room. And the nurse, she was like, you have a glow. Are you pregnant? And I was like, no, I'm drunk. I'm drunk right now. And she was like, "Are you sure?" I was like, "I'm positive. I'm not pregnant." And after that, she was like, "Well, I'm going to give you a test anyway." And I was like, "I don't want a test. I don't want to take a test." I was like, "I'm not pregnant." The doctor said I couldn't have any more kids because I had a lot of problems getting pregnant. So she was just like, "Okay, well, I'm going to give it to you." So they took blood out of me. And before I went to x-ray, she came back and she told me that I was 4 weeks pregnant. And I was like, I'm drunk. I'm drunk. No, what am I going to do? Is the baby going to be okay? And she's like, "Oh, yes, you'll be fine. You'll be fine." And I was like freaking out, like crying. And I called Babe and I was like, "You're going to be a dad again." And he's like, "Perfect timing."
It was okay. We had 2. That was 3. I think I was 21. I was 21, having a third kid. And I remember kind of doing the math. I was like, well, 21? I'll be, I think so. 20 or 21?
No, because you're 40.
Well, how old's Chevy? 15, 16, so 40. So 25?
You were about 25.
Okay, 25, sorry. Anyways, I was doing the math. I was like, well, fuck, I'll be 45 by the time she's 20. I'll be 42 when she's 17, 18. So, yeah, I could do that. We can do one more kid. Okay, let's have it. Thumbs up, green light.
Like he had a choice. Like he had a choice in the matter.
All right, Chevy's born. No pregnancy. Everything's normal. Chevy goes to school. Starts kindergarten. I'm pregnant. Hey,
no, that time I woke up sick and I told Celeste, like, I'm pregnant. And Celeste, bless you. Celeste was like, "Mom, what do you mean?" I was like, "I feel like I'm pregnant." And she's like, "Mom, the doctor said you can't have any." By this time I had already had 3 C-sections. So the doctor said no more babies. So I was like, okay. So I was like, there's no way I could be pregnant. And after that, I took a home pregnancy test. It was negative. And I told Celeste, "I know I'm pregnant." So then I called my gynecologist and I asked him, "Can you give me a blood work test?" And he said, "Yes." He said, "You think you're pregnant?" I said, "Well, I took a test, but it said no, but I'm pretty sure I'm pregnant." So I took blood work.
She knew what she was doing. 5 years. I don't want to be at home by myself. I need a kid to raise. 5 years later, the second time.
You weren't complaining.
Well, it was fun doing what we had to do to make a kid.
So then don't bitch.
Yes, I can bitch.
Nah.
Yes.
Nah. I don't give you authorization for that. So anyways, I ended up being pregnant and I was only almost 3 weeks pregnant when I found out. He needs help again. But with the whole homeschooling and school, I feel like it just depends on your family. If you have
the means
and the time, and not even the time, because you're always going to make the time.
I guess what we're trying to portray is make sure they're educated enough to give their kids a proper home education. Make sure like they do it 1,000% right. You're in it because you are
their teacher.
Yeah. I mean, your kid's future is in your hands.
Yes. And
I'd make a good teacher.
And I feel like when the kids were homeschooling, we did our best. We tried to get tutorials in with tutors, but that couldn't happen because of COVID. So we did the very best. Me and Babe were always like,
they passed,
trying to figure out how to do things.
They passed.
But I do want my kids to have time to themselves, their own personalities. So it's hard. Which one, like, to do? I feel like it depends on the parent. Whatever they think is best for their kid, that's what they should do.
Yeah. As long as your kid's happy.
Everybody's different.
Well, I take that back. As long as your kid's best interests are met.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it's very important with all these kids nowadays. But schools are crazy too. Like all these
crazy things going on.
All these school threats, they're terrifying. They give me freaking anxiety. Like the bomb threats, the shootings, it's just horrible. It's horrible. So it's so scary. You're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't.
Well, they had a horrible case last week, 2 weeks ago. I'm sorry, a 7-year-old killed his teacher.
What? I didn't even hear about
Yeah, in the Northeast.
a 7-year-old.
A 7-year-old. Let me make sure.
That's terrible.
But
How did a 7-year-old have a gun?
so the worst part of that story is he took bullets to school, I believe, 2 weeks or time before that, and was caught and told them that next time he's bringing a gun.
So he warned them.
And I mean, it's a kid.
I feel like we just live in such a scary world. I hate that I have to have the talks with
6-year-old. I'm sorry. 6-year-old student shoots teacher in a Virginia classroom, police say. This happened January 7th. First grader. Horrible. Experts said a school shooting involving a 6-year-old is extremely rare, though not unheard of. Virginia law limits the ways in which a child that age can be punished for such a crime. We do not have a situation. Yeah, it's horrible. I mean,
check on your kids, guys. Spend time with your kids. Go into their room. Bother them. Who cares if they're teenagers?
Go through their phones.
Make them come out of their rooms.
Mm-hmm.
You know, communicate with your kids. You know, talk to them. Inspire them. Learn about their life. Learn about their friends.
My thing is, whenever I think something's bothering them, I don't leave them alone.
No, babe will constantly.
I'm going to ask them. I'm going to pull it out of them. What's wrong with you? Either make up a story or tell me. And you can tell when your kid's lying to you, right? Like, you can tell if they're making up a story. But we're going to fix what's wrong. Or we're going to attempt to start working on a problem so we can find a solution.
I feel like you have to talk to your kids, guys, because when things like this happen, I blame the parent. How did you not know that your kid... And I'm not saying that the parents ain't checking on them at home. That's not what I'm saying at all. But I'm saying...
How the hell does that happen? It's a 6-year-old kid.
How does that happen? How does a kid think that's okay? Like, what was that kid going through? What provoked them to want to do that? You know what I mean?
There's no... I don't believe there's a right answer. It's a kid.
That's what I'm saying.
And it's not a teenager who half-ass knows right from wrong. Well, yeah, that 6-year-old knows what's right from wrong, obviously. I don't know. That's just a horrible situation for all parties involved.
Yeah.
Hellish.
It's terrible. It's terrible.
Hellish.
That's why I'm saying, I mean, listen to your kids, guys.
Yeah.
Pay attention to your kids. Watch them. Learn them. Learn your kids. Who cares if they're teenagers and they're going through shit? Pull that shit out of them.
Don't be their best friends.
Don't be your kids' friends.
Be their parent.
Be their parent.
Yeah.
They're going to love you. They're going to hate you. They're not going to agree sometimes. And that's okay. That's their job. They'll realize when they're older.
Our job is to look out to their best interest.
Yes, for sure. It scares me, with Chevy, there's so many threats at her school. It scares me to have to talk to Jelly. Like, baby, if this happens at school, you need to do these things. Those are hard conversations that I have to have with my 10-year-old. I don't want to have those conversations with
Did anybody ever hear in their wildest dreams think 15, 20 years ago would be having these conversations?
Never. When that school shooting happened in Uvalde, I think I cried for like 2 weeks. Like, I was so devastated that happened to those poor angels. And I literally had to sit my 10-year-old down and my 15-year-old down, like, if this ever happens, baby, you play dead, you do this, you do that, you do the best to protect yourself. It's so scary to have these conversations, but they have to be done.
Yeah. I know it's a taboo subject. Nobody wants to hear it. Nobody wants to talk about it.
They have to be prepared.
But you do have to teach your kids.
You have to teach your kids. You have to teach your kids to be nice. Be nice to others. It's not going to cost you shit to smile at somebody. It's not going to cost you shit if you see somebody sad. And who cares if you don't know them? Are you okay? Is there anything I can do to help? Hey, here's my phone number if you need to talk. Like, I always encourage my kids to do that. Always. Chevy's friends come over here all the time. to come talk. Just
hang
bullshit.
out, bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah, and I love her friends. I love my kids' friends.
Yeah.
They're like my babies.
Well, sweetheart, we're an hour in. I think
we?
it was a pretty good podcast.
Awesome.
I'm really happy. I like the way it come out. Can't wait to do it again.
For sure. It was a good podcast.
You got anything else you want to add?
Let's see. What else did we talk about?
I think we're good, bud.
Good for a second one.
I think we're good. I think we're going to sign off.
And if y'all have anything, subjects y'all want us to hit
us
want
up.
our opinions on them,
Please like, follow, subscribe.
Oh,
this
the giveaway.
YouTube thing. Oh,
Next
yeah.
one, we're gonna do a
This
giveaway.
YouTube thing, it's barely starting off. We don't have a lot of followers. We don't have a lot of subscribers, the likes, all that stuff. It's a whole new platform. She's definitely well established on Facebook, but we're trying to blow this one up. So if you don't mind, share it to your friends, share it to your colleagues, your sisters, brothers, cuñados. Shoot the shit. Hey, whether you like it or not, if you like it, cool. If you don't, tell them, hey, look at these fools, couple clowns. What the hell business they got? It's all right. Just watch it. We don't care.
Engagement is really important.
Yes.
So
We
we want
appreciate
y'all to give us y'all's opinions. We want y'all to like. We want you to follow. All those good things. Engagement is very, very important. We want to have communication between all of us.
Definitely. Well, we want to say thank you.
Thank y'all so much, guys. Our second podcast. And we can't wait to see y'all next time.
Adios.